Welcome to Festpod. I'm Neil Wilkinson. Before we go on, we've got a little announcement for you. You might have noticed that Festpod is having a slight reboot. We love Download Festival, but the fact is, it's one festival that's on for a few days a year, and in reality, we cover much more than that. We talk about other rock festivals, gigs we've been to, and a lot more than just Download. So don't worry, we're not changing that much. We're adjusting our brand to fit what we have become, the Unofficial Rock Festival Guide. We'll do news and rumours about your favourite rock and metal festivals, and our advice and recommendations. See, it's not that different. But we do have some more voices on the show who you'll hear in upcoming episodes. So, let's welcome my fellow hosts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lee Ellingham, who has returned.
Yep, I'm back. Hello. It's good to be back, live in living colour. I can see myself in my computer screen just there, and I'm going to look at you at the camera. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been looking forward to us getting onto the camera. So yeah, this is wicked.
It's you that's been pushing for this, isn't it?
Very much so.
He's a pusher, ladies and gentlemen. Rich Holmes, unfortunately, he is in good health. That's not an unfortunate thing. He is in good health, but unfortunately he's not here. He is going to watch wrestling in Cardiff.
No, see, that's not quite true. See, I forgot to tell you this. So, Rich is actually one of my alter egos. So, like, there's a reason why we're not on together. You see, like, that's what's happened.
Right. Okay. So you see, what we have to do is we have to make the most of Lee's jokes and have a bit of laughter. There you see.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
As again, we are in Vision. So if you want to watch us record the show, you can. So there's two ways you can do that. You can look at us on YouTube, or you can look at us on Spotify. Spotify now does video podcasts, at which this is now one, and you can see our beautiful studios. And I don't think you can. Oh, can you subscribe on Spotify? I'm not sure if you can. I guess you can just follow it.
I'm not on Spotify anymore to be able to tell you. I ain't got a clue.
I'm not. I mean, I've still got an account, but I don't use it. But I know you can subscribe and stuff on YouTube. So do that. Hello, if you're watching on YouTube. So we've got loads to cover today, actually. We have a full show for you. So before we get on with that, I just want to remind you about our socials, which is Festpod. Just look for Festpod. And there's also festpod.co.uk for our effort at a website. You can listen to all the shows on there. So let's get started with festival news. So Bloodstock has just happened. I didn't go. Did you
I didn't go either. No, you didn't go. I wasn't there.
However, one of us did go, and that is the one person who isn't here. So, but Rich has sent us a little message to describe how it went.
Hey guys, sorry I couldn't be with you today. I'm currently in Cardiff at the time of recording.
Lucky man.
Going to watch Clash at the Castle. Watch some grown men in lycra throw each other about. But I love that kind of thing, even though I should know better. But anyway, I wanted to give you a quick review of Bloodstock Open Air 2022.
Okay, go on.
And the overriding kind of headline for me was, it was fucking roasting. Oh my Christ.
I can imagine.
I don't think I've ever been to a festival where the weather has been so warm and dry, and we Brits love to moan.
Yeah.
We moan if it's raining. We moan if it's too sunny. I was praying absolutely praying for a shower, just to settle the dust, just to cool it off a bit.
That's all it needs.
But
sometimes.
one we did not get. Anyway, you don't want to hear me ramble on about the weather. So starting off with main stage. Absolutely incredible, all three of them, especially Lamb of God, massive Lamb of God fan. So really enjoyed them. And also Bloodywood were bloody good on the Friday.
I like it.
And Red Method, worth a shout out, who opened main on Friday.
Wow.
They recently played the Bawdy Takeover download this year.
They were
And
amazing.
once again, they were damn good.
amazing.
Ginger, Berry Tomorrow. Berry Tomorrow I've seen before. Ginger, it's my first time, and I was absolutely blown away by them. So very happy with all of that. On second stage, the Sophie Lancaster stage. Wow, what a treat there was on there. We had on the Thursday night, the party night, we had Dark Tranquility. Headlining that with Necrogoblicon, second down. I'll be honest with you, I spent most of my Thursday evening at the Jägermeister bar drinking mules, the Jäger and Ginger.
Gotta be done.
And looking at my bank statement for the Jaeger bar for that night, there was several £100 spent, and I'm a poor man for it.
Wow.
But I wouldn't have it any other way because a great time was had
Well, that's,
by our
you
little
got to do
group
it.
in the Jaeger bar. But other than that, no. Bands on a Thursday that we saw were good. Sleep Token headlined the Friday night on Sophie stage. Incredible band. They were a little hot and cold with the performance. They started off, whether they had audio issues, I don't know, but they certainly grew into the set. By the end of it, they were sounding absolutely phenomenal. Avatar, not a massive Avatar fan, but I can appreciate what they do. And for that, again, decent watch, good show. Malevolence headlined the Saturday night on Sophie.
Great band.
Excellent band. Seen them a couple of times before. With Ferocious Dog, second down. Well recommend checking out Ferocious Dog if you've not seen them before.
Ferocious Dog. Wow.
New Blood stage was an exciting time. Hellfected opened New Blood stage on the Friday morning for the Friday morning mosh at 10:30. I was down stage left on the barrier for that.
Oh, wow.
Just in front of my friend Becky, who plays guitar in the band, and what a crowd they had for 10:30 in the morning on the New Blood stage. It was incredible in that tent. Absolutely phenomenal up and coming band. Check out Hellfected. I can't praise them enough. If you like your thrash, you're gonna like Hellfected.
You look like you've got something to say there, Lee.
No, no, just the experience of having your friend on the stage playing and like being able to watch someone in a band do that sort of thing. And I know what the New Blood stage can be like generally through the day. For it to have quite a lot of people there at 10:30 in the morning is quite incredible. So yeah, you've got your friend there with a massive crowd behind you at 10:30 in the morning on the New Blood stage at Bloodstock. That's actually pretty amazing. So yeah, congratulations to do you say Hellfected? I think you said the band name was.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Also, a New Blood that's worth a watch with Fire Sky on the Friday. Also worth out checking Imperium, Headpress, and Collapse of Sky, who played the Saturday. And Sunday, I'm going to be honest with you, I did not make it to the New Blood stage. However, I hear that Devastator were good and worth a look. Yeah, my weekend at Bloodstock was mainly filled with sun cream. There you go. Warm beer. Surprisingly, I didn't actually get sunburnt.
Oh, good.
That's an
I don't know
achievement.
how.
Yeah.
I was thankful for the festival organisers relaxing the gazebo rule, especially as with a young child with us. We'd have absolutely baked at camp on the Thursday, for example, after setting up the tent, if we didn't have that cover and that shelter. But no, all in all, good festival, good crowds as usual, well organised. On the whole, very decent security team, decent concessions in terms of their food and drink. Love the bars at Bloodstock. You've got so much choice compared to larger festivals. And as I banged on about in the last episode, £5 a pint. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah,
and to be fair, it was only £6 for a Jaeger Mule. So I don't want to work out how many I had with the money I spent. But yeah, good value all round. Love Bloodstock, love the festival, love the people there. If you haven't been before, why not? You need to go and check it out, and already looking forward to 2023. Guys, thanks for indulging me. I'm back off to watch some guys in Lycra throwing each other around and grabbing each other. So enjoy the rest of the episode, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks very much, Rich. I'm sorry I missed the men in Lycra.
No, I just tell you what, I'm actually quite jealous because that's proper WWE that he's gone to see. It's not the NXT or NXT UK that we get a download. It's the proper WWE show. So yeah,
I always forget that you like wrestling.
Yeah, everything that you used to, or everything that we all liked as kids and teenagers, I probably still like it. So.
So it sounds like Rich had a really good time and saw some great bands, and obviously the weather was nice. We have heard from the internet that not everybody had a great time. I mean, you could say that about any festival, but we've heard some interesting stories on
yeah,
on TikTok.
I mean, again, the source, we've got to be a bit sort of, you got to take it with a pinch of salt, maybe. Like, obviously, we weren't there, we can't comment.
No.
We wouldn't have been in their situation. But to hear what's been said is disappointing, because as Rich said, Bloodstock is a fantastic festival. It is really well organised a lot of the time. They do put on a great show. It just seems that, again, according to the source, those that were a part of access or disabled camping were not treated as well as others, which is a shame. But, I mean, we weren't there, so we can't really give a solid confirmation whether or not it's true or not.
Yeah, this is on TikTok. I guess if you go on there and just do a search, there are people on there with their own stories who can tell them far better than we can. But it's not for us to, we weren't there, so we don't know. We can say that these stories exist, but we can't give you any information as to any details or whether this really happened or what, because we were not there. So there's a story of its own all there, and there have been responses from Vicky from Bloodstock and stuff like that. So it's worth going down a rabbit hole if you've got TikTok. Have a little search up. But there was a secret set at Bloodstock, which was Machine Head. How does that float your boat?
Oh, fuck me, that's an amazing secret act. Machine Head have been massive throughout when I was a teenager, even earlier than that, in like the late 90s into the early 2000s. It was amazing. That's an amazing shout, and I'm quite jealous I missed it. But to put them in the tent, if you imagine to give you some perspective, the Avalanche stage tent at Download is a little bit smaller than that. And they managed to pack out the Sophie tent at Bloodstock, and it's too small for them. They should have put them on main stage. But
Wow.
To have Machine Heads as a secret set, that's a pretty a pretty good secret set to have.
Yeah, so you would have been right up the front, would you?
Oh God, no, not in a Machine Head mosh pit. They're savage. You know how I came away with a busted lip when Borders played at Download. No, it would have been worse.
I remember that. Do you remember that?
I do. Yeah, that was fun.
Was it?
Yes,
I think it was.
Oh fucking hell! Oh Christ! So obviously we're doing live video and that. You get mistakes in that. I'm going to lose my light at some point, I think.
Oh, so we're expecting your light to come crashing down on your face.
Yeah.
During this episode. Okay, well, we'll look out for that. It's exciting. Bloodstock standard tickets are on sale. the camper van and VIP sold out, and limited VIP upgrades then went on sale once all of the early birds had sold out. So it's, if the thing is, I think because we'd had a long time without festivals, that everyone's really into festivals now, because we miss festivals. I miss Download. I miss it so much. So we're all piling on, aren't we, to get tickets for festivals that we either haven't been to before or think festivals we love.
Yeah, I'm preparing for next year's festivals. Like I said, I'm not going to Download the full weekend, but I will plan to be at Download in some shape or form, hopefully. But yeah, I'm planning festivals all for next summer. The odd day ticket here and there. So yeah, and yeah, I agree, because obviously everyone is pining for those festivals, and obviously it didn't happen for so long. Yeah, I think early bird for a lot of festivals are almost like selling out almost instantly.
We have decided to go to another festival, haven't we, for 2023?
Yes, we have. I am so excited. The Slam Dunk Festival is our first festival of choice for 2023, and I mean, after that announcement of The Offspring, Enter Shikari, Holding Absence, Trash Boat, it was so difficult to not want to do it. And the fact that they do a deposit and payment plan of you started at £9 deposit, it just made sense to do it. And yeah, we haven't got to start paying for it until January. So hopefully, because the early bird ticket packages have sold out, or the early bird standard ticket has sold out, as have their VIP. So hopefully when they put them back on sale, that people want to get onto it, can't afford the full price straight away, they've given us a payment plan that is so affordable.
Thank God for those payment plans.
Oh, I know. Is that what you've done for your Download ticket, or did you manage to?
Well, when they came out, shortly after Download finished, I just paid it on a credit card to get that early bird price.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because then I know it's done, and I could do with, just paying it off, and then it's done, and I don't have to think about it then.
That's it. Yeah.
The same with the Slam Dunk. I mean, the Slam Dunk, I don't know if you know anything about Slam Dunk, but it is over 2 days, but not in the same place. So you have one up north, you have one down south. The same lineup, a little bit like Reading and Leeds, where they sort of shift from the north to the south. It's north first, isn't it? Then it's south.
Yes. The Sunday in Leeds. Sorry, Friday in Leeds, and then the southern leg is in Hatfield. I think it's just outside Watford. I think.
It's a wide pair of legs.
Yeah. That's a wide stance to take.
It is, isn't it? I know. So for you nutters who are doing both legs, good luck to you. But they do have an after party. So I think the after party happens the next day. Is that right?
So the after party for the southern leg, so obviously us doing the Hatfield leg, I've only looked into what the after party was for that. It's at the O2 in Kentish Town in London. Now, Hatfield to London is a fucking long way, so I don't know what's going on there. Whether or not they're putting on shuttle buses for people to go from Hatfield to London, but that's a fucking trek. We might have to look into that a little bit more. Not that I'm going to go, because that's very late at night, and I mean, I need my beauty sleep. But
the other thing is, because I've got to drive to you because you don't travel to music festivals. I
know. But hang on, no, I said to you the other day, like it's still an hour and a half drive to Hatfield from where I am. It's not as if like Oxford to Watford is quite a trek.
Oh yes, the south is quite a large place.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. So I'm going to be driving down, and so I can't drink at Slam Dunk. I'm going to have to be on a Coke.
Well, at this point in time, I'm not drinking either, so we can have a sober festival together.
Let's have a sober fest.
And I'm potentially driving over as well. I'm debating whether to get Big Green Coach. It's see one, if the price is worth me putting the fuel in the car to drive over, or I'm weighing it up basically at the minute.
Okay. We've got a good year or so, more or less, a few months.
Yeah.
Before we have to make any decisions. But I wouldn't wait too long though, because the way we've seen things get sold out, pretty quickly. I wouldn't imagine those options are going to stick around for that long. No,
if in doubt, I'm getting public transport, but I'll see how it goes. Again, car park pass isn't much, and for convenience sake, I'll probably end up doing that. But so we'll cover when we go. We'll obviously cover what it's like to share with you on Festpod, because it's one we haven't been to before, and so we're quite excited. Yes, we are.
2,000 Trees in 2023. The first band to be announced is Rival Schools, and all I can tell you about Rival Schools is the fact they've got a cool name. They're going to headline. Go on.
I mean, I've got nothing else to say on them. I don't recognise the band at all, unfortunately. But it seemed when it was announced, it was a big thing. It was a big deal, and a lot of people were happy. But I mean, we can't know every band. But
no, I did. In fairness, have a little bit of a search up and have a listen to them. Can't particularly remember what they sounded like anymore, but I guess they were all right. But yeah, it did seem like a big deal when they announced it. They're going to headline Friday night on the Axiom at 2,000 Trees next year. So we have a bit of slam dunk news, actually. They have announced their first bands for next year. The Offspring, Enter Shikari, who you love.
I do. I don't know if you can. You can't. There's the hoodie hanging there. You can't see it. Not there. Over there. But yeah. Okay. Oh, I love Enter Shikari.
That's for all our listeners.
Listeners, I'm on camera, so viewers that can't see off screen.
You make the effort and look at the video.
Exactly. Yeah. Come on. But yeah, Enter Shikari, that was one of the ones that sort of almost sold it straight away. I really want to see The Offspring. They've announced Bowling for Soup as well. Those two bands were supposed to play Download a couple of years ago, but obviously because of the pandemic, neither of them played.
The pandemic?
Did I say band or pandemic?
It sounded like bandemic to me, but let's leave that and move on.
hang on. Let me lick my lips and I'll enunciate properly.
Go on, enunciate.
Pandemic. There we go.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, the lineup just looks amazing. What are you laughing at now? You forget I can see you now.
See, if you're not watching the video, you're missing out on all of the visual fun.
See, this is the thing. I can now see you. So if you're taking the piss out of me on your side, I can see you.
You can see me doing it.
I know.
So can everybody else.
Exactly.
That's all right. Fine.
You can't just stand oh, fucking hell, he's droning on again about something. I can see you. Exactly.
Okay.
Right. What are we saying?
You've also got Holding Absence, who are going to be at Slam Dunk, who I love every year. I watch them at Download, and Trash Boat, who are going to be there as well. The tickets. Which tickets have sold out? Is it the early bird that sold out for Slam Dunk?
It's the early bird ticket for that sort of standard entry, I suppose you could say. That one sold out. The early birds, but obviously they will do a second wave, and I believe as well the VIP tickets have sold out as well. So
have they?
Yeah. So what we'll do this year, we'll slum it with all the oiks, and then next year we'll get back to where we're supposed to be in VIP. But
it's not like you're camping. It's not like you have nice showers and real toilets. Is it?
I'd imagine. No, I definitely don't think so. I'd imagine it's probably like exclusive bar with better or different beers and ciders. The bands might
not
be back
drinking
there
anyway.
As well. I know. The bands might be wandering around back there. The food could be different. Different sort of entertainment when the bands aren't playing. I don't know.
Unless it's camping, I don't think I'd bother with a VIP ticket. I mean, unless there's something amazing that I don't know about, I just can't see the benefit.
If they do an upgrade, I know they said obviously they've sold out, but if they manage to do like an upgrade or something on a second wave, I might be tempted, but we'll see.
Okay, just leave me in the oiks section.
It's where you belong. It's where you belong, Neil. Come on.
Yes. So Arctangent, the second wave of early bird discounted tickets goes on sale Monday, the 5th of September. 10% off the full price. At the time of recording, which is Saturday the 3rd, they are 20% off full price. So there's bargains to be had if you want to go to Arctangent.
I'd say so. That's pretty good, to be fair. And I believe they do a joint, or at least last year they did a joint ticket with 2000
Joint
Trees.
ticket. Right.
Joint ticket. Yeah, they did with 2000. See, I can see what you're doing. This is see. Is this going to be a problem going forward? You can't. You can't be silly.
Control
behind
myself.
It. No, I know. But
No, I have all this fun on my own usually, where you can't see it.
You have fun on your own when we can't see you. I bet you fucking do.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Arctangent. Go and have a look at that. Trainwreck is something on Netflix that you recommended to me, and I'd heard it was a little bit dark, and so I didn't want to see it initially, but then because I watched a few minutes of it and I thought, I'm not really in the mood for this, but then clicked onto it and watched the rest of it. Trainwreck is a great documentary about Woodstock 1999, which I was not even aware had happened. This had not entered my consciousness whatsoever. Obviously I know about the original 60s Woodstock Festival, but they brought it back and it was a bit of a fucking disaster, wasn't it?
Just a touch. So from the documentary and my interpretation of it, basically it was the first day was going so well. The sun was shining, it was warm, the acts were good, and then it got into the evening. Obviously it was really, really hot. It got to the evening, and I believe the night that Korn headlined, that's when they said the problems had started because of obviously the lyrics and the way that Korn play their music. It's aggressive. Mm-hmm. So that's when the organisers sort of said that's where the problem started. Obviously, with all the moshing, the jumping, and everything that you do when you're at Korn
the enthusiastic appreciation of the music.
That's it. And even looking at the video, it looked insane. I wish I'd have loved to have been in that.
How old were you in 1999?
I was 9 years old. I was a babby.
So too young, really.
Yeah, but it looked amazing. And for the organisers to say that's where the problem started, that's such a shit viewpoint on, again, metal music and obviously the genres that we listen to. That's not where the problem started or where the problems lied at all. As you watch the documentary and it goes on, the fact that it was so hot means that the punters are going to want more water to hydrate themselves. Now, the drainage and the sewage, it completely almost like erupted. It burst. So all the sort of drainage from the toilets mixed into all the mud, as you'd expect, and people were trying to cool off that way with the water and the shit that's just coming out of the ground.
They were trying to cool off with what was in the toilets.
Not quite.
But they ended up drinking it, didn't they? It was in the water. They did tests on the water, and the water taps were just pumping out human shit, basically.
Yeah, and one of the girls that was being interviewed even said she had got ulcers and stuff all around her mouth from where she'd been drinking the water, just to try and hydrate. So imagine them saying, right, we have to cut the water, because they cut the water. So you're gonna have to buy your water from the vendors.
Bastards.
So the vendors clocked onto this. So at the time, you could, and in the documentary they said this, you could get a bottle of water from, say, a shop for 65 cents, and the highest price that a bottle of water got to was $12. That's fucking
incredible,
ridiculous.
isn't it? I mean, you do expect some high prices at festivals, but that really is taking the piss.
Yeah.
And you hope that other festival runners have watched Trainwreck and are taking notes, right, we mustn't do this, we mustn't do that.
Yeah.
Because it ended up being absolutely disgraceful, didn't it?
Yeah. So again, as the documentary goes on, you had, I think,
Not to spoil it
Wycliffe.
for you, but...
Yeah, sorry for those that obviously haven't watched it yet. But you had Wycliffe Jean, I think it was Wycliffe Jean, went onto the stage and played his guitar, and then sort of like did a take the piss sort of remake of the national anthem.
Oh, yes.
Which actually looked like it probably would have angered a lot of people, but then at the same time, people were already angry anyway. From the way
people were
being
getting
treated.
riled up as each act was going on. They were getting the audience who were, they were young adults. So we're talking maybe 17, 18 years old, and just sort
early
of
20s types. Yeah,
that sort of age when you're just getting to be a bit more confident in the world, and there were sort of chest beating. Lager louts, as my mum would say. And it just became this really sort of, I wouldn't have stayed. And a lot of people did. There was footage of people leaving.
Yeah. So obviously there was that. And then when Limp Bizkit came on, that's when shit hit the fan. Because again, and this is, they blamed Limp Bizkit almost outrightly for the riot starting in the first place. And it was ridiculous. Yes. The song that again they played when it started really kicking off was called "Break Stuff," which again is largely centered around again being bullied and having built up frustration and taking your anger out on stuff. And then obviously that's what they did. They took their anger out on obviously the sound tower, but to outrightly blame.
Yeah, they pulled the
it.
sound tower down, didn't they?
Yeah,
set it on fire.
But to completely outrightly blame them is quite arrogant. To not see your own mistakes, see your own faults, and then to go on the press releases every day to say, "Nope, everything's fine. Nope, no problems."
There was footage of all of this, and they had a press conference seemingly every day, which I'd never really seen before. You don't see Download doing press conferences every day, do you?
No,
or anybody else.
I thought they were incredibly arrogant, narcissistic, and negligent towards all of the punters that came in.
This is the thing. I think the difference between American festivals, I'm speaking from watching this documentary and not actual experience. It looks like they were just after profit, never mind public safety or enjoyment of the festival particularly. It was all about profit. How much can we make out of these people? And it really shows in the way that they did everything. I think it was disgraceful.
Yeah. And I mean, part of me, the riots were despicable. 100%. You cannot say that they weren't. Well, I understand why it happened. I wouldn't have stayed. You no way would have gotten involved, but you can understand why people got so pissed off. Because they were being taken for mugs. They're dehydrating. All right, $12 a bottle of water. There you go. Oh, brilliant. No proper running water by at least the third day. So I'm not surprised.
And this is $12, remember? But in 1999, $12. I don't know what that would equate to nowadays, but would it be something like 20 quid for a bottle of water?
Yeah, well, again, in the early 90s, the late 90s, that would still be from like 65 cents you'd pay in a shop to $12. That's a massive hike up. Like, there's no sort of justifying that.
Yeah, there isn't, is there?
No.
It's an incredible documentary, and it I assume if you're listening to us that you are an avid festival goer and you love festivals. You've got festivals you like, festivals you wouldn't go to. This is fascinating to people like us. Trainwreck on Netflix. Watch it before they take it down, because Netflix like to take popular things down for some reason. So have a look. Trainwreck. Talking of Trainwreck, Reading and Leeds has
I love
been
how
on.
you piece that together. Sorry to interrupt and talk over you. I love how you piece that together. That's brilliant.
I'm pleased that you noticed. I'm pleased that you noticed. Awesome. I did it on purpose. They have confirmed. This is actually in the recent past. So before Reading and Leeds actually went ahead, Rage Against the Machine cancelled. They were not going to headline anymore, and people were obviously disappointed. Reading and Leeds confirmed that those who had bought day tickets to see them would get a refund of the ticket's face value, which is, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like it before. I think that's unprecedented. I think it's very good of them. But I don't remember ever seeing anything like that before. And they were replaced with the 1975, who are not a good match.
No,
which is understandable. Why they wanted to get refunds.
I can see people's anger, man. Like, nothing against the 1975, obviously a popular band, but to replace an alternative metal, rap metal sort of band with something that's more easygoing, like the 1975, it doesn't quite work. And obviously this is supposed to be Rage Against the Machine's only show in the UK. To not almost swap them out for like is a bit
crap.
Shitty. But yeah, it is. But it is what it is. It's happened. I believe one of the acts that was supposed to be playing on the main stage, to walk out on the stage, they actually played Rage Against the Machine, which I thought was quite cool. I can't remember what the act was, but you know, some bands when they come out on stage, they got like music played. I know Skindred played. That's it. I know Skindred played the Imperial March, which is amazing. But this act, whomever they were, played Rage Against the Machine, which I thought was pretty cool.
Appropriate.
Yes.
For them to do that. And also, there is some interesting, I mean, I say interesting, some horrifying videos coming out of Reading and Leeds with tents being set on fire. And I mean, I'm not going to call it a riot, but when you see the videos and hear what was going on, people shouting and throwing various bits of camping furniture around the place on the last day, I mean, is that not a riot?
Well, I mean, it does sound like one, in fairness. And it baffles me that... So my wife had been to Reading a couple of times in the past, and she said to me that, yes, it's tradition for it all to kick off on the Sunday, which is a shit tradition, if you ask me. But apparently it's been going on for years, and I'm really shocked that Reading and Leeds, because it happens at both festivals, have not ever managed to be able to get a handle on it. I can understand the amount of people that are there with the amount of security that they can afford to get in is going to be an issue. But it just seems every year there's something horrific, as if like the tents being set on fire, assaults, and the amount of garbage that is left is absolutely shocking. And again, I know the festivals that we go to are no angels when it comes to rubbish being left over and those sorts of things that happen. But it just seems that Reading and Leeds was just amplified, and apparently it happens every year. And it's shocking that it can still happen, and people aren't trying to, stamp it out as such.
I would only need to see that in person once for me to never return. Because, I mean, we're talking about videos that we've seen on TikTok. It's always TikTok because that's where videos get shared nowadays. Of people scared in their tents because literal camping chairs are being thrown from one camping part of the campsite to another, like launched. And people get hurt. And it's not what you go to a festival for. It just blows my mind that anybody thinks that this is a good way to spend your time at a festival. I don't care if it's the last day. It's moronic.
I mean, I've heard people trying to not justify it as such, but people talking about how these are supposed to be apparently 16, 17-year-old kids who for the last 18 months have been cooped up. They've not had anything. They've not experienced anything like this before. And Reading Leeds is almost like a coming of age thing, where you're finally allowed to be out and about by yourself and have a good time. But it just seems that these guys that are having a good time does not equal the good time of somebody else, and they just don't
a good
care.
time hurting people and making people afraid.
This is it. I mean, this is not our mentality. So at the end of the day, you got to think, why is that a good time to some people? Because it sounds horrific. Why would you want to cause harm to others for a good time? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't sound right.
And this is why we don't go to Reading and Leeds. I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, but the mentality of not all of the people, obviously, but enough people to ruin it for other people there. I just wouldn't spend any money on it. I would not bother my arse to go to a place where shit like this is going to happen. I mean, why would you? And it's shocking, actually, because the festival is run, or owned at least, by the same people that do Download.
Yeah, again, Festival Republic and oh Christ, Live Nation. They own or they run so many festivals in the UK, but it seems like the biggest shitstorm happens at Reading and Leeds.
Yeah.
It's strange.
So, on to lighter news. Download Japan has been on. They have had a sudden increase in COVID infections fairly recently. It's probably gone down again by now, but they still had their Download. They did have rules, though. It's indoors, actually, Download Japan, which it's really weird to see. They were not allowed to shout or be loud. There were no crowd surfing allowed or moshing. No moshing. No filming of live shows. I'm not really sure what that's got to do with COVID, but anyway. So it was weird to see footage of Download Japan where they're all basically just stood still watching the band.
No, see, the footage that I saw a few of them in masks, and they were jumping around. They were having a good time doing them. Again, these rules would have been in place to cover their own asses when it comes to COVID.
Bearing in mind, it's 2022. It's not 2020 anymore. We've all moved on, and COVID has largely. We've moved on, haven't we? Largely,
we've gone down from a stage 3 to a stage 2, which basically means we are it is declining and stable, but it's still around.
Yeah.
But come on! I mean, with those rules even in place, you can't expect people at shows to not dance and be close to each other and that. The people were wearing masks, which I thought was quite cool.
A lot of masks I saw.
Yeah, but still, it's gonna be hard to social distance.
They weren't doing that as far as I could see.
No, the biggest thing that I saw down in Japan, which I thought was amazing, was the massive inflatable entranceway, which, according to friends of ours, would not work at Download UK. It would get burst or someone would vandalise it somehow, but it looked amazing. Like to have.
Do you think people would damage it?
I wouldn't like to think so, but
I don't think they were, because when you had the great big metal Download dog head at the top of the hill, I don't remember that ever getting damaged. Because people respect it. It's the symbol of the festival. And it's why we're all there, we love the whole brand, we love the whole thing, and so to damage, maybe it did get damaged, but I was not aware of it.
Apparently, the reason it wasn't there was because it was vandalised.
Not at Download though.
No,
in storage.
Pre-show, it apparently had been damaged somehow or damaged some way before. That's why it wasn't at Download this year.
Yeah, not at the festival because we've got more respect, I should think. For the literal symbol of the festival, but yeah, I would love to see that inflatable. Imagine if that where you have your checks and you show like your wristband and they pat you down and whatever. I think to have the great big inflatable Download dog there would just make it amazing. I would love to see that. I really would.
I would. It did look cool.
Yeah, and you'd want to touch it, I think. As you passed underneath,
it's almost like a big red button that says "Do not touch." You're like, yeah.
That's true. Rabid Fest is on in Oxford. You've got things to say, haven't you?
Crap. So I've got my phone on my TV here, which I can't look at on that, so I'm just going onto my computer. Bear with me, viewers.
Just typing away,
Yes.
looking for his own notes. Don't you normally have a book? I'm sure you've got a book, haven't you?
I spent the last hour before coming on and trying to find it, and somehow it's disappeared.
Oh, God.
But yeah, so I'm quite excited about this festival because it's round the corner from where I live. So
Right.
and it's in
Is that
November.
pub?
It's at the Bullingdon Club in Oxford. No, the Bullingdon, sorry, in Oxford. The Bullingdon Club is obviously something completely different, which we will not touch on because that's another can of worms. However, it's at the Bullingdon in Oxford on the 5th and 6th of November. Your weekend tickets are £30. A day ticket is £20. What's drawn my eye
Are there
to
many
this?
metal fans in Oxford? Is that a big place for metal?
It's a city. I'd imagine there'd be a few. It's a student city as well, so I imagine there's got to be a few.
Because I always think of Oxford as being quite posh and full of sort of...
See. So I recently heard Oxford being referred to as the either you have it or the have-nots. You
Right.
either have it and you're rich and you can have things, or you're really, really poor.
Oh, I didn't realise that. Okay.
No, I only found this out the other day. Apparently, it's a city of the haves and the have-nots, which it's a horrible thing to think about. Like again,
Well,
you've got
it's not nice, is it?
people that are doing so well and the people that aren't doing well at all. But again, that's another can of worms. Another story. Unfortunately, we are digressing.
You and your cans of worms. I've got a cupboard
Tasty.
full.
Aye. So what drew my eye to this festival, not only is it very local to me, and I've been looking for a local sort of festival to go to or a local gig to go to, the bands that have been announced already in the likes of Red Method, who we saw the Bawdy takeover download this year. They played Bloodstock. I believe they're playing Burn It Down Festival this weekend in Torquay. So I'm really keen to see them again. Another band in Divine Chaos. I've had a lot of good things about them, and they are in that sort of genre of music that I would really, really appreciate. Another band that's doing the rounds around the UK at the minute is, I want to say, Christhia. Krysthia. I'm going to say Christhia.
Okay.
Again, another band that is doing the rounds around the UK at the minute and are making big steps in their careers. And another band who I've heard of, not listened to, but Neil, you'll appreciate this this name. Footprints in the Custards.
I love it.
Yep.
Why not?
That's their name, and I want to see them just because the name is amazing.
Yes. Well, they've got to be great, haven't they, with a name like that?
But yeah, and yeah, it's affordable. It's round the corner to me. It's in Oxford, and the lineup is looking really, really good. And
so is it a 1 day festival or?
it's a 2-day festival on the 5th and 6th of November, and it couldn't get more local to me if I tried. I had my local venues in High Wycombe before I moved, but this is it's literally on my doorstep. So
if you want to meet Lee, he's got to be there at the Bullingdon Club.
Not the Bullingdon Club. That is a completely different thing from the Bullingdon. It's probably been named after the Bullingdon Club, which I think is horrendous. But it's the Bullingdon in Oxford. It's not the Bullingdon Club.
Right.
That no longer exists.
We keep saying club, but don't listen to that. It's just the Bullingdon.
Yes.
Not the club. Don't go in the club. Because you won't be there. Just the Bullingdon.
Do you know what? I have to ask. Do you know what the Bullingdon Club was?
No!
Right. Strap yourself in. The Bullingdon Club was an exclusive club for white male Oxford University students,
Right.
who were known for walking up to homeless people and burning £50 notes in front of them.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. That's the Bullingdon Club, or at least it was before all that shit got investigated and then they got shut down.
So the people that might have been involved in government or politics or anything like that.
Yes, our own fearless leader whose time is coming to an end. Boris Johnson was a part of it. David Cameron was a part of it. It's a club for those. It's a club for those.
I don't know why I'm so
sorts of
surprised.
Yeah, it was a club for those sorts of arseholes.
Oh my God. Okay, so we're not going there because they won't be having a metal festival on. It's the Bullingdon in Oxford, 5th and 6th of November. So Lee, we'll see you there for a hug.
Yes.
Also, further north, Manchester Punk Festival has announced their first lineup announcement. Where are we now? For 2023. It's on 7th, 8th and 9th of April. Up north. Up north.
Up north. Yeah. Anything past the Watford Gap's up north.
Up north. And the headliners for Manchester Punk Festival, off with their heads, Wonk Unit, Big
Pardon?
D.
Oh, hang on. Wonk Unit and Big D.
That's what it says.
That's not a coincidence.
No, I know.
They had to plan that together.
They've done that on purpose. Big D and the Kids Table. I think that's one act.
So, not the Big D at the kids' table.
Not at the Kids Table, no.
The Wonk,
And.
the Big D at the kids' table. That sounds wrong.
No, it's not. It's not and at. It's at and. See, you get. It's not the Bullingdon Club. It's the Bullingdon. It's not Big D at the kids' table. It's Big D and the kids' table. Thank you very much. Lightyear and Death by Stereo. Is it really obvious that we don't know these bands?
Yeah, sorry to if these bands listen. If the bands listen to us, great, thank you.
Yeah, well.
Sorry, we have never heard of you whatsoever. But this is the perfect opportunity. If you have not heard of these bands, give them a listen and go and have a look.
Yeah.
Especially if you live in Manchester.
Yeah. So just be careful if you're typing in Google Big D. Don't do an image search on that one.
And potentially kids' table.
So tickets are on sale at manchesterpunkfestival.co.uk. If you like a bit of, I like a bit of punk. It's not one of my go-to, but I do like a bit of punk. So we have Burn It Down Festival in Torquay happening. Actually, it's on today.
It's happening right now. It was on last night. It was on last night, and the full day is happening today. And they have bands the likes of Wargasm, Death Blooms, Vukovi, Pupil Slicer. This festival is huge.
Have you been to this?
No, it's in Torquay. I think it's not a festival that's been around for a long, long time. But please check the lineup out, and actually, if you can get there, go today, because the lineup looks amazing. All the smaller bands that we saw at the pilot, most of them are there now.
Oh. But yeah, you would go to that though, obviously.
If I lived in Devon, yeah.
Devon. Torquay. It's not quite nice down there, isn't it? Quite picturesque. Nice place for a festival.
There are certain places of the Devonshire and Cornish coastline that is quite picturesque. Yeah, I've only ever been to Torquay once to go and watch the football. But yeah, football. Remember,
you're not
I can
from
still
there.
see you laughing.
No, I know.
I can still see you laughing.
You're not from there, are you? But you lived there for a bit or something.
Cornwall, yeah. I'm High Wycombe, but when I was 16, we moved down to Cornwall, and then yeah,
It's quite boring down there. Not much going on.
For someone who's aged between 16 and 18, it can be a bit shit. Not a lot to do, but when they get to the age of 18, you go to the pubs and get pissed to your heart's content.
Is that where you met Dave?
I met Dave when I was 24, working in Newquay.
In the same pub or something, was it?
Aye, yes, same hotel.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Did you not work in a brewery? You worked in a brewery, didn't you? Down there?
I worked for a brewery. The hotels and the pubs that I worked at were managed by St Austell Brewery. So technically,
Okay.
I worked for the brewery. I was working at those pubs who were managed by the brewery. So technically, I worked for the brewery. Yeah.
Welcome to Learning About Lee.
Everyone's just turned off now. You realise that? I learned about Lee. Fuck this.
you know, I don't know about your...
I want festival news, not Lee. Turn that shit off. Yeah.
No, well, no, but it's because I know you've got a connection with that area, and so I was interested to know if you've been to Burn It Down Festival and how you ended up in that area, etc., etc., etc. Next piece of news that we have is Castlefest, which is happening in Luton. That's how you have to say it. Luton. There's no T. It's happening in September, and it's apparently got an awesome lineup, according to my notes.
It does have an awesome lineup, yeah.
And obviously, I haven't written those notes because I don't use words like awesome.
Yes, that was me. Headliners on the Saturday are As Everything Unfolds. Now, I do have what I like to think I have a special connection to them because we're the band and I are both from High Wycombe, and they're brilliant. We only play this music for another band that has not yet been mentioned today.
No, but you love these as well, don't you? As Everything Unfolds.
Yeah. Saw them twice at Download this year. Saw them in the RIP area and then on the Avalanche stage the day after. They were amazing. So they're headlining. Cut the music. Sweet. They've also got Death Blooms playing. Harriet.
I love how you struggle with.
How would you say it?
Harriet.
It's Harriet, right? Okay.
I mean, I've never heard anybody else say it, but to me, that's how it reads.
Whatever. Anyway, right? Yeah.
But you make a meal out of it every time you say Harriet, hair riot.
I don't want to say it wrong, and then I end up saying it wrong.
You do nothing but say it wrong whenever you mention them because you give all the different possible pronunciations, which I just find hilarious.
Yeah, I'm covering all the bases.
I know, just in case. So at some point you will have said it right.
Yeah, they're playing as well. Fuck's sake, I should have got this up. It was in my bloody notes. I've lost my book.
Your bloody notes.
Castle Fest, Luton.
Luton?
Oh no, Castle Feast apparently. That's what I put.
Is it Castle Feast?
No, it's Castle Fest. I just wrote Feast in the...
Okay. I like a feast.
Don't we all?
Mint one as well.
Where are you bastards? There we go. As Everything Unfolds, Death Blooms, Harriet, yeah, go me. Lake Malice, who I've seen, they supported Invisions in March, and what else we got on there? Yes, Invisions. Love Invisions.
Are they touring at the moment, Invisions?
Yes, they are supporting another band. Oh, fuck's sake, I had it written down. But they're supporting another band and they're playing third week of September. I'm not going because I'm seeing another band the week after. So I had to, and I booked that a week or two, no, about a month or two before.
Really? So you're shunning Invisions?
I am not shunning them. If they're listening to this, you've not been shunned, lads. Come on, you know you're my boys, all right?
You're giving them a big old shun, not seeing them.
I'm not. They're my boys. They know they're my boys. It's fine. I tell them they're my boys.
Who are you seeing instead?
Vola, Danish prog metal, are headlining a few shows around the UK at the end of September, along with the band Voyager, who I really wanted to see at Bloodstock a few years ago. But again, you say I shunned them for another band, which I didn't. They were in a horrible clash, and I had to make a tough decision. And another band called Four Stroke Baron, who are fucking incredible. So for me, the lineup was just too good to miss, and all my money went that way instead.
So Invisions, no thanks.
No, what? Don't stop shit stirring and saying this, because you know how much I love Invisions. They're an amazing band.
I do.
Why are you shit stirring and making me out to be like a horrible person?
Because it's fun.
Yeah, you bastard.
Right, okay.
I'm not happy now. No, I'm not happy now. No,
All right, then. So this is Castlefest.
In Luton, yes, at the
Luton.
Castle Cavern in Luton, on the 22nd to the 24th of September.
Are you going to go to that?
No.
Not going to that.
No, it's the same. Well, again, it's the same week that Envisions are playing. It's the week before I'm supposed to be seeing Vola. I just wouldn't have. I wouldn't have the money for it, unfortunately.
No, fair enough. So Loathe have cancelled their September and October headline dates in the UK and the rest of Europe as well to complete recording their new album, which is obviously disappointing to those who have tickets for Loathe. It's quite short notice actually to cancel dates in September and October. But I understand if they want to. Go on.
Yeah, priorities, I suppose. Like maybe like the album was obviously a high priority. Try and get that finished, and I understand it. Yes, it'd be disappointing if I had a ticket for it, and obviously those that have tickets were very disappointed. But then at the same time, I think surely they'd understand. Like, oh right, no, they want to get this album out, and
yeah, you want the album, don't you?
Yeah,
you want the new album.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, there's nothing like seeing your favourite band live, is there? So
this is true.
It's a tough one. But now I'm going to talk about a band who I think is divisive. I don't think everybody is a massive fan of these, but there are some huge fans of Muse.
Love Muse.
Yeah, I like Muse as well, but you see some people talk about them online and they're like, oh no.
I think that's because they changed sound to a more crowd friendly, mainstream happy sort of type music, but it was still Muse, and the tracks they put out after Supermassive Black Hole, I want to think that's the album, was still awesome. They're still making really good music. I don't know why people don't like, or some people are not keen.
Metal elitism, most likely.
Yes, that's old.
But they are doing. I mean, listen, they sell out stadiums, which is why they have just announced 4 stadium dates in May and June 2023. The Will of the People 2023 UK tour starts at Plymouth Home Park on Saturday, the 27th of May, and it goes to Huddersfield, the John Smith Stadium, on the 20th of June, which always blows my mind. Huddersfield is a small place, yet it's attracting huge acts like Muse and was it Green Day?
I'm not sure how big the stadium is, I think it might be...
It looks like a regular stadium to me. You wouldn't think they'd put a great big fuck off massive stadium in Huddersfield.
Here comes Google. John Smith's
and after that, they're going to Glasgow, Bella Houston Park, Friday the 23rd of June, before concluding at the Milton Keynes Bowl on the Sunday, the 25th of June. And Royal Blood, who is my favourite band, will be supporting at all dates except Glasgow.
So going back to the John Smith Stadium
in Huddersfield,
it's only 24,500 capacity.
So it's like the size of an arena.
Yeah.
Like Manchester Arena is probably a little bit smaller than that.
Home Park in Plymouth, not in fucking London. Ugh.
It seems like I don't know. I mean, I guess they have to tick a box in the north, and it just seems weird they would. I mean, I guess can I just say it's probably quite a cheap stadium to book, because if you wanted to book the Manchester City Stadium, which is huge, which people do, then that's going to cost you a lot of money.
There's a massive gap in that tour. If you hadn't noticed, 27th of May to the 20th of June. What happens in between those dates?
I don't know.
You do.
Do I?
We based our unofficial podcast on this festival, Wally. So sorry.
Oh,
so
he's talking about. Okay, right. I
Download.
thought you meant they might be doing extra dates.
No.
Okay, so yeah. Oh, no.
Download. No.
It's not. I don't think it's likely because it would cannibalise. Go on.
Hang on. Right.
Make your point.
After looking at the John Smith Stadium capacity, after looking at the home park capacity as well, which is only it's only less than 18,000. There's a massive gap in that they could whack in download and have almost 70 to 80,000 capacity. Yes, you'd probably shoot the capacity for the other venues out of the water, but at the same time, that's a big gap to have. It could be more dates, obviously, at different venues, but download in the middle of that would work in my eyes.
There's nothing wrong with a big gap.
Second point. Speaking of download,
can I just answer that first one before you go on and make another one? Download. I'm pretty sure they have a deal with their headline acts that they Download announces first, and then they can announce their stuff because they don't want to. Because they want to sell tickets for Download.
It makes sense. Again, it's a wild theory of mine. Again, there's a massive gap. It could fill it. Probably not, but it'd be nice. Hey, imagine Muse headline Download again. A bit of a big gap for me to fill, to be fair. But again, imagine Muse headline Download again. Because they were amazing back in 2015.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. I would watch them. Absolutely. I don't think I'd be up the front, but I'd be in the crowd certainly.
Yeah. The other Download-related point I was going to make. Yeah. Did anybody else see this fake announcement that happened to it was from where we are now. We're on the Saturday the 3rd. It's Friday the 2nd. Yeah, they made a picture of a Download announcement on Monday was doing the rounds somewhere. And it got everyone very, very excited. What are you doing with that dog?
My little Denzel here, my Download
I can see you what you're doing. I don't know if do you realise that?
Yes. Well, it is, yes, because I'm doing the picture. There was a picture of announcements on Monday written on a piece of paper, and it was in Denzel's mouth. Like that. Did you not know that that's what it was? The teeth?
Yes, I did.
And the red skin?
I did, yeah. And it got a lot of people excited because it was doing the rounds. Apparently there's supposed to be an announcement on Monday, but nothing had come out of Download officially at all. I just thought it was another Download-esque point, seeing as we haven't touched on Download yet, or specifically. And yeah, I just thought it was quite funny. Clearly not. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm bothering to be here anymore. You just don't pay attention to me anymore.
I am paying attention.
You shit stir and you poke fun at me. I don't know why I'm here.
There are always rumours and fake news stories about Download, aren't there?
There are. My favourite rumour at the minute is Metallica playing twice. Bring Me Horizon are playing one of the other dates, and Slipknot doing the other date as well. Obviously, 4 nights at Download this year. I really hope it's all wrong. Just to be a dick. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'd love to see Metallica at Download, don't get me wrong. And I'm hoping they'll be there on the Saturday because that's probably the day that I'm going to be there on. But at the same time, everyone's so convinced. Every year, people are convinced that Metallica is playing Download, and then they don't. Then they never do.
Yeah, I have come to the realization that I actually don't care about the headliners in terms of who they book, because they're never who I'm there to see.
That's true.
Never. I mean, if it's Metallica, I'm not a massive fan. If it's Slipknot, I'm not a massive fan. Even if it's AC/DC, great. I don't know if I'd watch the whole set.
I should tell you, to be honest, that would probably be another Guns N' Roses-esque like 3-hour set if it was AC/DC.
Oh God. Yeah. So you'll find me in other places rather than the main stage at Download.
You'll be at the 4th stage, I imagine. That's where you spend a lot of your time.
Yeah.
You love that Dogtooth stage. I heard.
Do. Yes. Anyway. So, ticket scammers are already working on us for 2023 tickets, including one profile on Facebook who's named himself Charlie Hannum. Almost a bit like the actor Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy.
I mean, if you're going to try and scam people, don't use a fucking famous actor as your name.
I misspelled the name. Yeah. There you go. They're not very bright, are they? Yet I would imagine people still fall for these scams. I mean, if you've never heard of Charlie Hunnam, then you're not going to necessarily know that name. But it just seems like a really weird and stupid thing to do. So buy official tickets, use official channels, and then nobody is going to lose any money and miss seeing their favourite bands. And this in particular one was trying to sell camper van tickets for Download 23, which doesn't quite work at this point because they haven't been released, I don't think. Or if they have been released, this wave has been sold out.
They're like gold dust. So if they have been released, they're gone. And people don't give those up unless for emergencies. But it's very rare that they are ever given up because they're gold dust. Yeah.
I mean, it's dodgy anyway, buying tickets off someone on Facebook. And I just wouldn't risk it. Because, you work hard. And do you want to piss that money away on a scammer? Not really. Yeah. So, next, we're going to get some advice about going to festivals in the guide. In this section, we're going to try and answer your questions about what it's like to go to a particular rock festival, things that we recommend, and things that we want you to avoid. This time, an unofficial guide to general camping at Bloodstock. Yes, we are moving on a little bit as the Unofficial Rock Festival guide. So what do we need to know? If you're going general camping at Bloodstock, you're going to Catton Park in Derbyshire. What's that like? Is it a big place?
It's not Catton Park or the festival itself. The way it's laid out, it's not massive because it's only a 20,000 capacity, so it's not huge. But it's very well set out. It is a really nice area, very pleasant countryside. Really? They do loads of events at Catton Park, not just old Bloodstock.
Okay. That's interesting. You've got a capacity of 20,000. Mm-hmm. And you can get tickets for general camping for £160, which I think is very good, considering what you get in.
Yep, considering the size of the bands that play. In the past, I've had a Monomath, Gojira, Nightwish, Ghost, Machine Head. It's a very reasonable price. And it's always been known for having a reasonable price and having a really good lineup. So yeah, £160 for 4 nights of camping and 4 nights of music's pretty bang on to me.
And you love a lot of the acts, don't you? And I've just heard you mention Gojira.
Yeah, a lot of the acts do tickle me pickle. Again, Gojira are absolutely amazing. Nightwish, I've seen on a couple of occasions now, are a fantastic live band.
Yeah.
And the bands they had on last year, when obviously the pandemic was coming towards an end, or these lockdowns were coming to an end, they put on Wargasm, Malevolence, bands, again, those sort of smaller bands at the time.
Yeah.
This year's lineup, Sleep Token, amazing. So I mean, they get in a good size and good load of acts in for the price. It's brilliant.
Yeah, really good value actually. And with a capacity of 20,000, it's like double what we had at the download pilot, isn't it?
Yeah, you'll always hear the same thing come out of people's mouths that have obviously been to Bloodstock. It's a different vibe to larger festivals. Obviously, it's a very family-friendly festival as well.
Is it quite relaxed, quite chilled?
It's very chilled, very relaxed. It is a really nice festival to go to, and I couldn't recommend it more, to be fair.
You can get a VIP ticket, which is twice the price, £320. Is it worth it?
Yes, 100%. We'll divulge a little bit into RIP, the VIP.
I know, we're so obsessed with download.
I know. I'll divulge a little bit into what you get in VIP as we go on, but it's definitely worth it. It sells out every year. The VIP sells out every year because, again, the age of the people that go, like you and I, want their home comforts instead of being in a party camp, which Bloodstock does have. Oh,
does it have its own blue camp?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. It's mad. Again, when we hit our little section on campsites, I will tell you a couple of things that happen. Okay. You can upgrade. They are releasing a few upgrades to VIP that cost £160, which obviously is the full price of the VIP. Yeah. And when it comes to reasonable pricing, again for a VIP experience, that's only a little bit more expensive than a standard ticket at larger festivals. So I think that's worth it.
Yeah.
And I won't ever go to Bloodstock doing the standard. It will always be the VIP.
Well, the same goes for download nowadays, doesn't it?
Yeah. Which has made download almost impossible for him because that is just, it's a lot of money. And I it's not something that I'd be able to afford to do every year.
Pre-pitched tents and luxury pods start from £730 at Bloodstock.
So in that, the pre-pitched tents, $730 is for two people.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's not a one-person pre-pitched tent for £730. That's for two.
Right.
So it's not too shocking when you think that the VIP pitch your own tent is $320. And for two people in a pre-pitched tent is $730.
So $365 each will get you a pre-pitched tent and a luxury pod.
That's a different sort of package, the luxury pods. So you know how Download has its bell tents, it's almost like its caravans, the tour bus as well, with different packages. Yes. They start from £730.
Oh, I'm with you. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not pre-pitched tents and your pod starts.
Well, I didn't quite understand that.
I'll try and be a bit more clear on our notes.
Fine, okay. Stages at Bloodstock. You've got 4 stages. What's your favourite stage at Bloodstock?
I love the Sophie stage because it's those bands, it's the smaller bands that wouldn't quite make, say, like the Avalanche or the Dogtooth stage at Download. But there's a lot of bands that, again, the smaller bands make it onto that stage. And even, again, Sleep Token headlined that stage this year, as did Malevolence. They do get some pretty big acts in there. My introduction to Vola, the band that I'm seeing in September, played that stage, and I was blown away. They were amazing. So yeah, my favourite stage is the second stage, the Sophie Lancaster stage.
Wow. Okay. So you've got the Ronnie Dio stage, which is the main stage. You've got the Sophie stage, which is the second stage. New Blood and Jaeger. I'm going to say, is that?
Yes. The New Blood stage, that houses all the bands that won the Metal to the Masses competitions.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Yes, the Battle of the Bands. Not Battle for the Bands. Battle for the Bands, yes. Battle of the Bands.
Yes.
So the winners of all the Metal to the Mass competitions that happens all over the country. The the winners from those basically play the New Blood stage over the weekend. And the
Battle of the Bands, ladies and gentlemen. Battle of the Bands.
How long have you had that planned? The Jaeger stage as well is where Rich says he spent most of his time. They obviously have. What was that?
It was just the high voice, that's all.
Someone's got a new toy.
Sorry, I've interrupted you. Go on.
Fucking hell. So the Jaeger stage, again, it's a very, 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 very small stage. It's not huge at all, but it houses, it houses a Jägermeister bar and obviously some small acts that play. And I've seen circle pits and mosh pits under this tent, but the tent is no bigger than what you could fit in your back garden if you have a small back garden. Don't touch that dial again.
I've got so many jokes running through my head about the back area.
Go on. Let's hear them again.
They've gone now. It's too late.
There was a lack of innuendo in the last episode, though.
So can you fit? Sorry, I can't. I'm not going to do it. You know what the joke is yourself. You've already reached it. The point of punchline in your mind. It's too late now.
No, do it. Say it.
It's not going to be funny. Let's just have a funny noise.
Oh, hello. I'm a monster.
For fuck's sake. Oh my god.
I'm a little camp monster.
Anyway.
Cock monster.
I did not say cock monster. I said
camp. I'm a camp little monster.
Oh, you're a camp monster.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm a monster. Anyway.
Say cookie.
Camps.
Like cookie.
Cookie.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Anyway, camps. Midgard. Is that right?
Yes.
Midgard.
So those that are into the Viking mythology and the Norse gods, you will notice a certain theme here. Midgard being, this is the main party camp. So what happens in this main party camp? Partying, number one.
Yes.
And have you ever heard of the art, I'm going to call it, of bin jousting?
the art of bin jousting. I haven't.
So, for those that don't know Bloodstock and have never been to Bloodstock, there is a sporting event, unofficial. They do not condone it. They hate the fact that all the fans do it, but they do bin jousting. So you know those massive wheelie bins? Obviously, they've got a big lid like that, yeah? People will get on top of those bins, two at a time, and they will ram into each other like a joust.
Where do they get the bins from?
Well, they're already there. They're the other side.
So they take bins that are full of people's crap?
Yeah. Well, it happens most on the first night when the bins aren't full.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But, okay, so you get people that are sat on top of it, and then you ram it into each other, and then the people on top, if they don't fall off, they have to wrestle the other one off. And Bloodstock they hate it, the fact that this is a tradition at Bloodstock, because they do not condone it. It's dangerous. People have been hurt. People have had their legs crushed. You know the accident at Alton Towers, sort of the leg crushing? That's what people have come away with, those sorts of injuries.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Because some dozy twat decided, I'm going to sit with my legs here, where the bins are going to squash, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yep, but it happens. But Midgard is the main party camp. So if you're not a fan of sleep, camp there.
Right, so it's equivalent to Blue Camp at Download, or what used to be Blue Camp at Download.
Yeah.
Right, okay, well I won't be going in there.
No.
Serpent's Lair VIP, see below.
Yes.
It says here.
Yes. So again, I will divulge a bit more into VIP in a minute. But yes, one of your other camping sections is the Serpent's Lair. Oh fucking hell! Say Serpent's Lair in that deep voice. I bet that's like
Serpent's Lair.
See, that sounds so cool.
doesn't it?
It's almost like Mortal Kombat. It sounds like
Finish him.
yes, that was amazing.
Ooh.
Okay. I have to do the camp voice with it. I have to do the camp voice with it because
camp
that
Cookie
makes
Monster.
it. I think it's really funny.
Bin jousting at the Midgard camp, please.
Fucking hell. Who wants a 4-hour podcast? Does anybody else want a 4-hour podcast? Because you're about to get one. We're just going to be doing these voices for the next 2 hours.
No. We're going to talk about Valhalla.
Yes, so Valhalla is another name of another camp, as is
Right.
Ironwood, Jotunheim, Asgard. Hiflheim is your disabled access
Hiflheim.
camp.
Right.
Hell, which used to be the quiet camp as well.
Are these
now,
are these in different language? Is it different language? This or something?
it's Norse.
What is this?
Norse. Yeah, it's like
Norse?
almost like Danish, Norwegian, sort of Scandinavian. Yeah, the Norse.
Oh.
The Norse mythology, Vikings and stuff. That's where it's all based on.
Yeah. Oh.
I did say that.
Did you?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was too busy being a monster.
Okay.
Christ.
So
Actually,
because
hell.
I read you said hell and it's only got one L,
Yes. Yeah.
and that's why
Hell.
I thought, oh,
Yeah.
Niflheim, Ragnarok, which is a film.
Which I think is daft. They've made Ragnarok the Norse prediction of Armageddon as the quiet camp.
The Norse
think that-
prediction of Armageddon.
Yeah, so in the Bible and other religious texts, everyone has their Armageddon sort of type event.
Right.
The Norse mythology called theirs Ragnarok.
Right. Okay.
So I think it's quite
that's
ironic.
quiet camp.
Yeah, I think that's quite ironic that they've named Armageddon as the quiet camp.
Is that a mistake? Do you think?
Didn't look like one. No, because Hell used to be quiet camp, which I find ironic. How is Hell quiet?
What should be quiet camp in your opinion? What out of the names?
Oh, Valhalla, because that's where all the Viking warriors go to. After beating the shit out of each other, relax and have a beer.
Oh, really? Okay. You see, you know all of your Norse business, don't you? You're familiar with all of that.
No, there's definitely people that know more about it than I do. I know basics.
Well, I'm sure there are, but you do know some of it, which is
I know
more than
some
me.
things.
Yeah, some
I know
things.
some things. Yeah.
One or two things about North mythology, thank you.
So you've also got camper vans and other luxury camps,
Yeah. Which
is interesting. This sounds huge. Are these quite big camps? Because there's quite a few.
No, they're not. So it's a 20,000 capacity event. So it's not massive. So Midgard basically fills up quite quickly, and people will then filter into their other camps.
Put all the bins
around
in.
the site. Yeah, I know that actually happens because I think when I did it for my first year, we stayed in a quiet camp, and I'm pretty certain we saw people taking the bins from Hell camp, quiet camp, into Midgard.
Oh Christ! Right, okay. I don't like that very much.
This is why you get the VIP ticket. It doesn't happen.
I wouldn't go there. Okay, and so you've got serpent. You've also got
Serpent's Lair.
Yeah. So
What goes on in
this
there?
is my elaboration of the Serpent's Lair, because this is obviously the camp that I frequent when I go to Bloodstock.
the VIP one.
Yes.
Yes.
So, like download, you get yourself a goodie bag
Oh yeah.
upon entry. The car park. What? What now?
The way you laboured upon you get a goodie bag upon entry. Go on, carry on. I'm making up my. Listen, I haven't got any knowledge of Bloodstock here. I have never been.
So you're just going to make jokes the entire time?
Yes, this is a guide for me. I don't know anything. I can't contribute very much apart from nonsense.
Then just sit there and listen. Stop making jokes.
I am listening to you.
I'm listening.
Oh, fucking hell. Right. The Serpent Slayer. Say it again. Do it again. Say it again.
Serpent's Lair.
Good man. You get yourself a goodie bag upon entry. The car park is a 5-minute walk to camp. That is an exaggeration. I've exaggerated walks between campsites in previous episodes.
You have, haven't you?
This is not an exaggeration. The minute you get your ticket, or the minute you get your wristband, which is in the car park of...
That's a good idea.
Yeah. It's 5 minutes, so no need for lugging all your shit everywhere. I know at Download, obviously, you can park next to your tent, but it's a 5-minute walk. It's very convenient.
So you can't park your car next to your tent when you're at the Serpent's Lair?
No.
Right, okay. But it's only 5 minutes walk anyway.
There you go.
Yes.
Yes. I've written on the script 50 ales and ciders. No, it's 100. I had to do some extra research. So you get a bar that has 100 different ales and ciders.
Oh, that's a lot.
It is a lot. It's amazing. I had the expectation that I'd be able to do at least half a pint of each over a weekend. I didn't. It's a lot. It's a lot to get through.
Yes.
But yeah, again, that's exclusive to the VIP that you won't get for your standard ticket.
But there's going to be varying if there's 100 different ales and ciders, they're going to be varying quality, though, aren't they?
Yeah. There's no point having the same type of beer and cider all weekend. But I know you used to download and having only Carlsberg and Somersby, but
which I never touch. But you're not going to know which are the good ones and which are the bad ones, are you? Because there's 100 different ones.
That's why you have a tasting session. You have half.
Oh, you have a tasting session? I
do, or did.
Do you?
You get half a pint of each one you like, and just fucking sip it and just go mad. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So this is not an official. Well, here's this one. No, I see. In a little thimble. No.
No. Half a pint. You basically there's so much to choose from, but that's the brilliant thing about it. You've got so much choice, and yeah, you might come across one. Oh, that's shite. Don't drink it again.
Do you have to do that voice?
Yes. Oh,
that's shite. That's all shite. I don't want more of that. Who knew?
Exactly. I bet Dave's probably like taking a piss out of my accent, bastards.
With his cider. Okay, all right, but they do have posh toilets and showers though in the
posh loos, posh showers, exclusive.
What's posh about
them?
Are they real ones?
Yes, you know the ones you get in RIP. It's like those.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do they get replenished with bog rolls?
They do.
And cleaned and stuff. Okay.
They are regularly. They're more regularly cleaned than the other ones.
That's okay. That's acceptable.
So also, within the Serpent's Lair, there's exclusive after-hours parties that, again, you would not be able to get into if you didn't have the VIP wristband. And you also get to rub shoulders with the bands, which I have done before and had conversations with.
Did you rub their shoulders?
When I hugged them, yes.
Oh, that's
a hug.
Who did you rub shoulders with, please?
Raised by Owls.
I've heard of them.
Yeah. They are a party slam metal band. They are fucking hilarious. They've got their own
slam metal band.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do songs about Ainsley Harriott.
Mr.
And
his
Blobby.
Spicy meat.
That's it. Mr. Blobby. And then when they bring Mr. Blobby out on stage, who has like a 13-inch dildo.
Sorry,
waves around.
They bring Mr. Blobby out on stage
with a 13-inch dildo. Yes.
Is it in the appropriate place?
No, he has it in his hand. He holds it. He just does like that. You know that Newport helicopter with it.
Does it really? Oh my god! I would like
hilarious.
to see that.
Yeah. And I managed to. I clocked them in the VIP section and asked if I could have a picture. I've actually got a picture with them as well.
Oh wow!
Yeah, They've really nice lads, very funny.
Oh God. So Bloodstock is very family friendly, and what does that mean?
I've seen newborn baby or almost newborn babies at Bloodstock in prams.
You've seen children being born at Bloodstock, and it's been fine.
Honestly, I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if I ever did see that happening. Water breaking in the middle of the field. Babies babies being pushed out. Women screaming.
Launched onto the stage. And caught by the singer. Okay. So I didn't really get an answer to that. Okay, so it's very family.
Yes, of course, yes. It's very family friendly. When I say kids running about, it's not like you're at like an Asda or a Tesco or something, and the kids running around screaming. You've got kids running about, enjoying themselves, moshing, doing hardcore swings and kicking, and just enjoying themselves. It's really sweet to see, and it's a good thing that, again, the smaller festivals are more allowing of that sort of thing. We do see kids at Download, but it's not to the same degree. Obviously, the same ages. These are really young kids that are going.
That sounds like quite noisy to me.
No, it's not. It's when I say kids running about, it's not. It's not fucking Tracy's kids from around the corner that are just screaming their heads off in a Tesco.
See, this is what I worry about.
High on fucking Mawams at 8 a.m, which I did see.
Not even Haribo, Mawams.
Tangent. We walked into shop this morning and we saw a woman, to pacify her kids, giving Mawams, and I thought, well, no wonder they're going to be screaming and shouting all over the place. You just fucking hyped them up on sugar. Insane. But it is not like that at Bloodstock.
Okay.
These children are well behaved.
What are they high on at Bloodstock?
Metal.
Is it? Okay, good. Things you must visit in general camping. Go on.
So you've got Lemmy's Bar, which is, again, the pub bar area, which is covered. Again, they have a very good selection of beers and ales. That, again, you wouldn't get other big festivals. So definitely check that out. Obviously, Lemmy being Lemmy from Motorhead, it's a nice sort of.
As opposed to Lemmy who works in the butcher's on the high street.
What makes you think there isn't a butcher called Lemmy that works on the high street?
I've never heard anybody else called Lemmy.
Doesn't mean they don't exist.
It doesn't. You're quite right.
That's like saying that you believe in God, but you've never seen him. Doesn't mean he doesn't exist. I mean, he doesn't, but still. See, when it concerns Bloodstock, that voice works.
It's good, isn't it?
I love it. Yeah. Very good. For the last 2 years in a row, they've had a gaming zone. Your PlayStation 5s, Xbox, PC, old school arcade games, Mega Drive, your Super Nintendo, you name it. They had it in that tent when I went in 2021.
Did they?
Wife spent most of the time in there. Well, I was at stage watching the music. She was playing Crash Bandicoot on a PS5.
So is it like a big tent with all these gaming things in with tellies and stuff? And are they playing metal or not?
There's metal music in the background. Okay. But yeah, they've got all those consoles I've mentioned. It was really popular. I was quite surprised at how popular, considering the fact there was metal bands playing. But,
and what games do they have? Is it golf?
So you've got, I think I saw Forza, which is a racing game.
Oh yes.
Some of the wrestling games. Mrs. found Crash Bandicoot, which I thought was pretty cool.
Really? Okay.
Call of Duty, those sorts of games as well.
Oh, so good games, not crap games.
They had the Sega Mega Drive with Sonic the Hedgehog and Streets of Rage, etc.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
Yeah. I thought you would.
Rage. Yeah, I love it.
But yeah, it was really popular. More popular than I thought it would be. Another thing you should definitely see, even if you're not appreciative of artwork or anything like that, go and see the Rock and Metal Gallery. All the posters that are designed for Bloodstock are by the original founder of Bloodstock. And he's an amazing artist. He did a lot of artwork for Saxon, Scorpions, I believe, as well, Judas Priest, their album artwork.
Really?
It's like a walk around museum of all his artwork and memorabilia, stuff of obviously ex bands that have played, bands that haven't played Bloodstock as well. It is amazing. I would highly recommend having a wander.
Are these things for sale? Can you buy them?
No.
Oh, you can't buy them. Just look.
No. Yep.
Keep your hands off.
Look and marvel. Do not touch.
No.
Look, don't touch.
It's a good lesson for life there. General car parking is a large, I'm reading now, is a large hillside car park. So when you park, you're on a hill.
Yes.
Like
That's
Pink
what
Camp.
that means.
Yes. So it's a 10-minute walk. So not a 5-minute walk like at
Serpent's Lair.
but it's a 10-minute walk. It's an extra 5 minutes from the wristband exchange along a dirt path through a wooded area that runs adjacent to the road. So this is you've got to go on a hike.
Not as much as a download hike. No, it's quite picturesque. To be fair, the walk from the car park to VIP is quite picturesque. It's quite pretty what they've done to the VIP walk. But it's not long though.
What about when it's raining though? Does it get muddy?
I don't know. Probably. I've not been there when it's been raining actually. Or the last time I went there when it rained, I was already in camp.
Imagine going to a metal festival and it not absolutely pissing down.
I know. Wouldn't it be amazing if it didn't? Like, we joke about the weather at Download, but fuck me, the weather this year was amazing.
It was gorgeous, yeah.
2018, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was too much in 2018. Too much. I think because it was all dry and dusty, and you get it in your eyes, and.
But this year was all fucking pollen, and
it was pollen. Yes, the year of pollen.
Set you off, and didn't seem comfortable. I don't get affected by hay fever, but it didn't seem comfortable for others.
Well, you're a lucky man.
I am.
Campers are parked closest to the festival entrance, with day ticket holders being parked at the back of the field.
Is that not like a big fuck you? Buy the weekend ticket. Don't be a cheap ass to buy the single one. Buy the weekend ticket.
I suppose it is. The festival team, along with the landowner, have done a lot of work to get it levelled as much as possible, making it a relatively easy walk from car park to camp.
That's nice of them.
It is, because we know about the hills at Donington, those mountains that you've got to traverse to get to where you're going. VIP wristband exchange is in the VIP car park. They get their own car park. So as soon as the festival opens, you can grab your wristband and make the 5-minute walk to pitch your own tent campsite. It does sound a lot easier to be on VIP as it should be.
Yeah, you pay double the price. You should get double the privilege.
Yes. Standard festival camp rules apply with no glass or gas. No glass or gas into the campsites in standard. Barbecues are allowed, but they have to be used in the sand-filled barbecue areas that are provided in each camp, which sounds like a fuck about. I would just rather use a burger van, to be honest.
To save you money, we did it in our first year in VIP, and it does help. It's nice to be able to have that area, but it's not great if you have to walk a couple of minutes to go and find it, and then obviously walk back to your tent to enjoy your breakfast.
Gazebos are generally allowed from 12 p.m. on the Friday of the festival, once most campers are on site. This is to ensure that enough space is left for later arrivals. Security will ask for them to be taken down if they are erected before this time.
Erected.
Yeah, so that's fair enough, isn't it? Because
you did sound like you were making an announcement now. I like it. I like these new controls.
They're
very good, aren't they?
Oh, yes.
Gazebos are something that it's nice to have a gazebo. But it's nice to take it just in case it pisses down. But this is from us having gone to Download for years. We expect it to piss down. And so we want to have a nice area where we can try or pretend to be dry. But obviously, that's only if there's enough room. Due to space restrictions, Bloodstock asks for people not to take the piss with massive palatial 8-man tents for one person. Like a palace. Palatial, like a palace.
Oh.
You've got a palatial tent, haven't you?
I don't think so. It's not that big.
So is it a 5-man tent, a 6-man tent?
It's a 4-man tent.
A 4-man tent, Neil. You know very well. You didn't bring it though, did you, to download this year?
Yes, I did.
Did you? Was that it?
That was my 4-man tent. Yeah.
God, that didn't look like a 4-man tent.
See, tiny.
You'd get one of us in there quite happily.
That's what I'm saying. I take up like a 2-man tent of my own. So you got that space there, and then space for my shit, and then space to chill in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 4-man is a lie. However, even in the busiest years, there has always been more than enough space for everyone. Is it a roomy place? Is it?
It is roomy. Yeah.
Big Green Coach provides coaches to the festival from 33 locations around the UK. Drop-off for these is really close to wristband exchange and is a good option if you need to rely on public transport. They also provide the official festival shuttle service from Lichfield City Railway Station. Is Lichfield a city? Well, I didn't know that. Lichfield City Railway Station to the festival ground on the Big Green Coach. A return ticket is £12. So that's not too bad, I don't think. If you're gonna see, I can't imagine going on public transport now, though. I like my own.
To get into download, it was a fucking ball ache.
Yeah,
that coming from the south to the Midlands on
down south
to public transport. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to do that. Lichfield City Railway Station is easily accessed from Birmingham New Street Station. So I can't be... See, whilst it's nice to be able to do that, I don't want to have to drag all my camping shit and my beer and my food and clothes through Birmingham New Street, through Lichfield City.
Again, I've had personal experience with this, and it's not fun.
The journey from Lichfield to the festival grounds is 20 minutes by road. If you don't fancy a coach transfer, the festival has 2 preferred taxi companies with agreed fares for Bloodstockers. So 2 examples. A taxi from Birmingham is £60. A taxi from Derby, £50. I don't know if that's good or not, really, but it seems like a lot of money, that.
It does.
I think that sort of wraps up our guide for Bloodstock general camping, unless you can think of anything else.
No, apart from fucking about with voice sounds, which I could see you was about to do again, I think that's it. Yeah.
That's it for our general camping guide to Bloodstock Festival. It's an unofficial guide. Thank you.
So you don't even have to hold your nose and make the voice.
No,
It does it
no,
for
I know.
you. That's quite cool.
So, do you agree with our guide? Do you disagree with our guide? Have you got any thoughts, anything we should have touched on, but we didn't touch it? Let us know. See, I see you smiling. Let us know on our socials. Just search for Festpod or leave a comment on the YouTubes.
Yeah, we're on YouTube now. Yay!
Yes, hello.
You can see us on YouTube.
Yes, and they can hear us as well.
They can hear us on YouTube.
Next up, we've got a new section to go with our new visual look. It's called Festpod Favourites. In this brand new section, we'll recommend something amazing that we've seen and that you might like. So, Lee, what is your Festpod favourite?
Festpod favourite. My Festpod favourite is the Signature Brewery. It's located in Walthamstow in London. I went there a couple of years ago to watch Foxjaw, and I was amazed at actually mixing the music with the the brewery side of things, I thought it was fantastic, and I would recommend anybody to go for a tour. And if you manage to get tickets to go to a gig there, because they do regular gigs, highly recommend it.
So it's a brewery that hosts gigs. Mm-hmm. And where's this?
Walthamstow, London. I said that. You don't listen to me.
No, I don't. So is it a big place or a small place?
Walthamstow in London. Walthamstow's a big place in London. The brewery itself, it's not massive. It's not huge, but it gets
Just a small one.
It gets a lot of trade from the industrial estates surrounding it, and it's a brewery. I mean, what's not to like? Like beer.
Does it smell of beer?
You get the waft of beer. You do.
You get a waft.
So when I went and watched Foxjaw, it was part of the reopening of society during the pandemic.
When we were released back into the community.
We were, yes. This was in May of 2020, the first time we were released back into the wild. And
yes.
We were all spaced out on benches, and it was quite weird to be... So,
do you know what I thought of? I thought you were like spaced out on benches, man. Spaced out. Not sort of spaced out.
I mean, I think someone might have been, for all I know. But yeah, so you saw Fox... Are you done? Are you quite finished?
I'm finished.
Oh God, that sounded really creepy. Imagine having someone whisper that in your ear. I'm finished.
Wow, Lee, there's an insight into the inside of Lee's head. Wow. Oh my God.
It's not rainbows and lollipops in my head, mate. It's fucking it's dark.
I'm
horrible.
finished.
That sounds even worse.
I'm finished now.
I want my own sound effects. This could be really...
I know you should.
Anyway, back
yes.
to the topic at hand. Christ.
Yes.
Do you remember seeing Foxjaw at Download this year?
I do. I thought they were great.
So you realise how rambunctious that was and how much fun that was. Imagine doing that, just sat on benches and not being able to do anything. Like it was an experience. It was definitely a weird experience, but it's not a regular
So
thing.
you were
obviously.
sitting on benches watching Foxjaw. You could not stand. You could not mosh.
Oh,
you could not rub people's shoulders. Oh, you could stand.
You could stand. You could rub someone's shoulders if you're 2 meters away. I imagine. Not that I tried.
No.
But it was all table service. Obviously, during the pandemic, everything was table service. You weren't allowed to go up to the bar yourself. But the venue itself, it's amazing. Like it's the mixture of music and beer to me goes hand in hand. So to put a music venue inside the brewery, I think it works really, really well. Plus, the beer is really tasty. Even their non-alcoholic version is quite tasty. If you're not watching this and you hear moments of silence, it's because we're watching each other. Like sort of like Neil's about to push a button. I'm just like waiting for it.
Oh.
So this is. I guess they have a website that you can just go onto and look at the lineup.
You can buy merchandise from them. They do glasses and all sorts of. Yeah, obviously
I like this.
They've got a line of beers. Merchandise. I've got a T-shirt around here somewhere. I'm not going to get it out because it'll take me forever to find it.
Don't get it out.
No. I won't.
We're on video now.
Yeah. No, Christ. Yeah, we're taken down the minute I do get it out. Jesus. But yeah, I recommend visiting the brewery. Have a look at the website because they do regular shows. That again, if you book online, I highly recommend the place, and I think it's a fantastic idea. Again, the fusion of music and beer, it works so well. They've had guests there, Foxjaw, Enter Shikari.
Fusion.
Yes. I think. Don't quote me. I think Wargasm have been there as well.
Right.
These aren't little bands that go for like your little 50 capacity venue. They get quite a lot of people there, and it is quite a large venue. Wow.
So signature brewery is what people are searching for. Okay, lovely. My Festpod favourite for this time around is the Sleep Token merch website. Now, I have purchased this T-shirt. It's a long sleeve tee.
Oh, Lee loves a long sleeve.
He does.
That design's sick, though, to be fair.
Isn't it good? Look at that on the arm.
Aye.
It's just black on the back. But I love that. 25 quid, I think it cost me. Or maybe it was 30 quid because of the long arms. I think I do have other ones that are 25 quid. Really nice designs. And I've been wanting a Sleep Token T-shirt for ages, but you never see them at festivals. So we managed to get on the website. They've redone their merch. They now do little pendants with the symbol. Other little bits of jewellery. But they really sell out. They're quite expensive and they sell out. There's only a limited number of them. But if you're a fan, like I am, and Lee is, 25 quid is sort of standard for a nice T-shirt of the band. Some really nice designs as well. So have a look. A lot of stuff, to be fair, is sold out at the moment. But they are on tour in America. So I think they wanted to get their merch store sorted out.
Makes sense.
It does. It's very nice. Speaking of merch, you may have spotted. Lovely.
There's one there.
There's the one there.
Watching the video. There's one there.
It's a coffee mug, literally with coffee in it. Can you see that?
That's cold now, though.
It is. I know. I forgot all about it. So this is my Festpod coffee mug, which you can buy from our Etsy store.
Ooh.
Just go on Etsy. You spell it. Do you want me to spell it for you? ETSY Etsy.
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 And
Etsy.
and sorry, it's too much fun. Go on to Etsy and search for Festpod, and you'll see our Festpod coffee mug, because we all like a coffee mug, and we all want to be reminded of our favourite festival-related podcast, Festpod. So we've also got patches, Festpod patches, which are beautiful. They are decent size, and they're not
Good scale,
iron-on. Yeah, I know. Thanks. You can you can iron it on. You can't iron it on, is what I'm trying to say. You have to sew it on. You have to sew it on because it's a good quality one.
Yeah, don't be lazy. Sew it on.
So go to Etsy.com, I think it is, and search for Festpod, and you can buy a mug or a patch. Not expensive, quite cheap actually. We're not trying to make money out of you. We just want you to enjoy having a bit of Festpod in your life and a bit of publicity for us. That's really it.
So that's it for this episode. We will be back soon, and until then, we will see you on the socials. Just look for Festpod, or go to festpod.co.uk. Take a look at us on YouTube and Spotify, if that's your platform. And why not give us a 5-star review if you feel like giving us a 5-star review? That would be very nice if you think on whatever platform you are listening to us, because it does help new people find us. Thank you for watching. If you have been, thank you for taking the effort. And also, thank you as usual for listening to us. And we will have a full complement of new presenters, fingers crossed, on the next episode. So that's it. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
A Wilco Productions podcast.
Midgard.